Hello again, everybody. This is Nicole again from Wildflower Valley Farm. Today's video is a follow-up video to the one that I did last week where I was cleaning up my raised bed. The weather did not cooperate with me for me to be able to come back and plant anything else the next day or even this whole past week. So it's a week later than I wanted to start planting anything, but that's just the way that nature works sometimes. So I'm going to work on this bed today and show you all what I'm planting. So the first thing that I like to do when I am getting ready to plant in the raised bed is I like to lay out my seeds so that I can see approximately what kind of spacing I'm going to have. These seed packets are a little closer together, I think, than what I'm going to do, but maybe not. I like to kind of plant some things in stages, so I don't know that I'm going to plant the whole bed today. One problem that I do have with this raised bed is the cats like to dig in it, so I do have the ability to protect part of the raised bed once I start planting in it, but I don't know that I have enough protection for the whole bed, so that may factor into whether or not I plant everything in this bed today or not. We'll just kind of see how that goes. But I'm going to be planting radishes, beets, Swiss chard, 3 different kinds of carrots, and turnips, and we'll just kind of see how that goes today. So something sad that I discovered while I was planting is I'm only going to be planting 3 types of carrots, because when I opened this package of carrots, there was nothing in it. When I opened the package, this is what I found. There is nothing in there. And I can't really say that nothing ever was, but there's nothing in it when I opened it just now. And these are new seeds that I just bought this year from M.I. Gardener. And so far I have been very pleased with everything that I've planted. But the fact that this package was empty is a little disappointing. One of the things that they market themselves on is their customer service. So I will be contacting them to see if they might possibly replace this packet of seeds for me. And I'll let y'all know how that works out. Alright, so these seeds that I just planted, I am now ready to water them in, and I am going to be using the shower setting on my multi-setting hose head here. I won't always use a setting that's quite that heavy, and it's actually not the heaviest. There's lots of things on here that will do a much stronger current of water, like jet, for example. But the reason I'm going to be using the shower setting is because it will be just enough pressure to get these seeds just slightly under the soil. I don't want to bury them. The seeds are all very small seeds, and if you bury them too deep, it will take them too long to sprout. Some of them may not sprout well at all. But just that little bit of pressure will be enough to bury them. And apparently I have a kink in my hose somewhere, so I'm going to go figure that out. Alright, so I think I got the kink worked out of my water hose. But I'm just going to wet this in good. It rained a lot yesterday and the evening before, so this does not need a lot of moisture as far as dampening the soil. It really just needs some on top to set the seeds, that's what I'm trying to say. So that's all I'm going to do as far as planting these seeds. I'm going to go find some wire to set around and protect these seeds from the cats to keep them from digging in this bed now that I have planted seeds in it. I don't have any trouble with them digging once the plants start coming up, but right now it to the cats just looks like a great big box of dirt that they can dig around in, and I don't want them to do that. So I'm going to find some wire or maybe some empty cages, just anything that I can set on top of this soil to protect the seedlings until they sprout. Okay, so here's what I ended up doing to protect these seedlings until they sprout and start to become plants. Some of this wire I will be able to leave here for a while. Some of it I will have to move a little sooner, but I've got time to figure out what to do differently until they actually become full-fledged plants. The seedlings are the main thing I have to worry about protecting from the cats. Once they become full-fledged plants, the cats really don't mess around with this raised bed all that much. But one thing I did is just the top of an old rabbit cage. This is one of those cages. It's actually, if you have seen my seed starting video, that plastic bottom that I use to put all my seed starts in, this is the top of that cage. And it's completely open on the bottom, so it's not going to hinder the plants at all. I can actually leave this here for a while because I don't have to worry about the plants growing up through the wire. This wire here is just an old scrap piece of the 2x4 farm fencing type wire, and because the spaces are so big, I can leave this for a while if I feel the need to. The thing that I cannot leave for very long is these old rabbit cages. They are too rusty to use as rabbit cages, but some of the wire is still usable, and I don't want to just throw it away. But I haven't done anything with it yet either. The main thing I need to do is disassemble these cages to salvage the wire for other purposes. But I haven't done that yet, so I just put the cages in here. The cats are not going to get in the cages. They may sit on the cages, but if they do, it won't hurt anything. And the main purpose is to just keep them from scratching around in the garden, and this will serve that purpose. So this will be here, like I said, until the plants become full-fledged plants. They don't have to be full mature plants. They just have to be bigger than seedlings before I can begin to remove this wire. But because this wire is, the spacing is a lot smaller, I will have to move this pretty early on so that the plants don't grow up between those spaces in the wire and get stuck, and then I could accidentally pull the plants out when I'm trying to remove the wire. So that's all I'm going to do in the raised bed. I'm going to try to have time this evening to plant some peas, but that's all I'm going to be doing to the raised bed, and I'll keep y'all updated. These things may begin to sprout this week. The weather is going to be warm enough that is a distinct possibility, and if they do, I'll be sure to update you on that. So I did end up having time to plant one variety of peas, and I just planted them along this fence here so that they can climb up on the fence. And if you think that I've planted them a little too close together, that is because every single one of them likely will not sprout, and if they do, I can thin them out. But more than likely, every single pea is not going to sprout, and the ones that do sprout probably will be spaced far enough apart. So I'm just going to barely cover these over, and then I'm going to water them in. that is all for today's video. I hope that it has been informational, at least, maybe a little bit entertaining. If you haven't already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. That is one of the main ways that you can support our channel, is by subscribing to it. It doesn't cost you a single penny. Check out the description below for links to all of our social media accounts, and thanks for watching.